most of our ancestors, working the land was the only way to live. And today, more and more people dream of leaving the rat race to farm for themselves. 9 couples now have the opportunity to make this a reality.
I just got this sort of burning desire inside of me to sort of be one with nature.
We've always liked the idea, maybe a bit romantic, of living the good life, being totally self-sufficient.
For the next few weeks, these caravans and fields will be their home as they compete to run their very own farm in Suffolk. 25 acres of land and financial backing for a year could all be theirs. Making the decisions is self-made Suffolk pig farmer Jimmy Doherty.
Farming is one of the most exciting industries there is. Every day is different, but it is such hard work.
Each week, he's setting a different farming challenge to test them on every aspect of the business.
We're not going to quit.
The wheat will be sorted from the chaff.
I don't want to let you down, but I'm really letting you down.
As only one couple will get to claim the farm as their own.
You only live once, you know, and I think it's about this opportunity to actually live our dream.
Last time, the couples battled it out selling at a farmer's market.
Now we're slashing our prices!
But a medical problem meant that Ian and Stephen had to leave the competition unexpectedly.
There we go, darling. Enjoy that.
So when Joe and Dean had the lowest takings
I'm gutted.
Something wasn't right, something was missing.
and thought they were going home, Jimmy was able to throw them a lifeline.
I do think you both deserve another chance.
Along with the other 4 remaining couples, they now face a whole new challenge to decide who will be next to leave. Another day and another early start. 5 couples are left fighting for their dream of running a farm. Surrey beautician Jo and her fireman partner Dean know they need to up their game if they want to stay.
I really felt like kicking myself last week. This weekend we sort of said, what were we doing, you know? We've just got to stick to our goal, haven't we, and work together.
Yes, definitely.
Not let the pressure get to us.
Not let the pressure get to us, which you did.
But there's no time to relax. Jimmy's already on his way to set the next challenge. The only thing the couples know is whoever fares worst will be sent home. There will be no more second chances.
Morning, everyone. This week's challenge, it's all about poultry and game, okay? Now, when you think of poultry, what do you think of? Chickens? Chickens. But there are alternatives. Your challenge is to select a bird and show me that you can effectively look after your poultry, but also that you can make money from it and market it. Now, it could be for meat, it could be for eggs, it could be both. But I want you to think outside the box. Do you want to lift this off? Yeah. Lovely roast chicken there, okay? In the UK, we kill up to 830 million chickens a year, okay? So it represents a very big market. So if you're considering doing chicken, maybe do chicken with a bit of a twist. Goose, I think, is a lovely bird, lovely roasting bird, okay? But you're up against turkey when it comes to Christmas. So your goose has got to be pretty good. Now, Jane, what do you think this is?
Possibly a guinea fowl.
It is a guinea fowl. Totally different, but what is your market going to be? Huge range of birds to choose from. Have a really good think. What bird would work for you, and how would you market that bird?
The couples must now decide which type of poultry they want to farm. They have just 2 days to buy the birds, build them a pen, and create a product they think could make money. This is the halfway point in the competition. So Jimmy will be looking for sound practical skills and wise business choices. To help them make their decisions, Jim is taking them to meet his own business mentor, Essex turkey farmer Paul Kelly.
That one's just coming out of the shell, see?
Paul supplies around 1 million turkeys to the industry every year.
But you can see how exhausted they are when they come out.
But today, he and Jimmy will show the couples just what the small-scale poultry farmer should bear in mind.
First off, want to know what the sex is. So if I'm buying chickens for egg laying, I don't want any cockerels, I want all hens.
The most important choice the couples will need to make is whether they farm for meat or eggs.
OK, so there's a turkey egg.
With some poultry species, like turkeys, eggs aren't commercially viable.
Typically, a turkey will lay about 100 eggs, a chicken will lay 350 eggs. A turkey consumes 260 grams of food a day, a chicken consumes 120 grams of food a day. The running costs, everything about turkeys makes it very expensive to produce, which is why they're not eaten commercially. They cost about 70 pence in cash to produce, a chicken egg is about 10 pence. Yeah, so it's just not economical.
So it's the meat that earns profit, which means infertile eggs are waste products and have to be removed.
Right, if you can see some that are slightly clear. These eggs have been in the incubators for 14 days. The embryo has started to develop. Yeah. So the darker eggs are the good eggs. So if you get down here low, you can see this one's quite clear. This one again. There we go. So out of that tray, we took out 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So that's 94% fertility.
To ensure that as many fertile eggs as possible are laid, some poultry farmers use artificial insemination.
For every 40 females, we only need 1 male. If you were doing it naturally, for every 10 females, you'd need 1 male. And then, instead of getting, you know, we saw in the hatchery, instead of getting that 94% fertility, we'd probably be getting 75, 80.
Jane, a nurse, is the first one Jimmy asked to give nature a helping hand by collecting semen.
I'm never going to live this down.
The way it's going to be extracted is through you sucking this end here. Okay? So your sucking power will collect the semen.
What we do is we just massage the stag, and when I say suck, you just suck, OK? Suck. Suck harder.
Gotta get all that semen up. That's it.
That was a good boy. There we go. Well done.
Please tell me I didn't close my eyes when I did that. And I believe that's what they have to do in this day and age. All the technology and everything we just saw at the hatching place. It's like a space station, and then you come here and you have to do something like that.
I think Jane did really well in that challenge. She was picked by Jimmy, so she must have some sort of, like, what our medical knowledge and a little more practice. I think she'd be able to pull it off.
The semen is sucked into a special saline solution which keeps it active, ready for the next stage, inseminating the hen.
Go on, have a go.
Former hotel manager Sue gives this a go.
Nice.
There.
Oh, there.
Now let it go.
That's it. Perfect, well done.
What CC is that actual dose that you're giving?
0.025 of ml.
Oh, right. A tiny little amount, then.
So it's a tiny amount, isn't it?
Yeah. Okay.
Poultry is the only type of livestock that most small farmers can legally slaughter themselves. If they want to become poultry farmers, the couples will have to know how this is done with minimum distress to the bird. Paul will now show them the technique he uses at his farm to end a turkey's life.
It's really important for you guys, as small farmers, to understand about this side of the business, because this is where you turn your animals into something that will be a product.
So what we do is we get the bird, we put it on the shackle like that, you put a rubber glove on, and then you put the blade on the head. This is the electrode, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and the bird's dead.
Now, I can't stress enough that you give an animal a good life, it's imperative that you give it a good death, because all your hard work goes to waste. Yeah.
As a meat eater, it's hypocritical to not want to watch how the animal goes from start to finish, and we've seen that whole process today. And yeah, I'm really relieved actually as to how humane it is.
Now that the couples have seen for themselves how poultry can be raised for profit, back at the farm, they need to think which species and products are right for them. A wrong decision could mean they're sent home.
I think that the secret's going to be trying to find a different twist on a quite a conventional thing.
Find an idea and stick with it this time, rather than running about like headless chickens, like you have done in the previous.
It's day one of the poultry challenge.
I don't think the emu's bad.
Oh, Ian, nothing can do with an emu.
By 2 o'clock tomorrow, the couples must choose their birds and house them in fox-proof pens. Jimmy will also want to see their finished poultry products and hear how they'll make them money.
Could you do a spit roast? Is that different?
For some, the ideas come quickly.
We are hoping to make a nest of sourdough and then to put a guinea fowl casserole in it, which we would be selling at farmers' markets, that type of thing.
For others, it's a painstaking process.
What's a terrine? That terrine, what's that?
Everyone wants to avoid their previous mistakes and show Jimmy why they're the couple to run the farm.
I've never heard of goose burgers.
It wouldn't lend itself to that because it's not that sort of meat.
London design consultant Will and his city PA girlfriend Bryony took the most money selling their burgers at the farmers' market last week. And Will thinks he's already on to another winner.
I'm not discounting geese. I like where you're coming from. I'm into the idea of geese. I have another idea.
Tell me, guinea fowl?
No. Maybe I'll just say the idea, shall I? OK. Ducks. Duck eggs. Duck egg pasta. Homemade pasta made with duck eggs. I'm very good at making pasta.
I love
We
it.
could give it a bash. Do you like?
Love it.
Cool.
Love it.
Come on, chicken. Let's go buy some ducklings.
Will's so sure of his idea, he and Bryony waste no time choosing 12 ducks.
Oh, those are great. Oh, I'm in love.
Make sure you support them.
Of course. Hello, my little baby. Oh, I'm in love with you already, aren't I, Mr. Aylesbury Duck? You're a beautiful little baby, Kate.
So gorgeous. Will seems to just take to them like a duck to water. He does. It's almost like a poster, isn't it? Ooh, it's quite heartwarming to see him like that.
And Will can't wait to get feedback for his new duck product from Joy the smallholder.
I'm thinking I'm going to do fresh pasta instead of chicken eggs, which I normally do, with duck eggs.
That actually is a brilliant idea.
Good.
One of our... get a sample?
Well, you'll get a free sample when the competition and set up our huge global enterprise.
Back at the farm, Sunderland nurse Jane and her factory worker partner Ray are still working out which bird would be best.
Well, we're going to go for guinea fowl, won't we, or ducks?
What can you do different with duck? You can do like a patty, but everybody does patty, don't they? Oh, I need to do something completely different. We've got all deer and you're getting yourself in a state already.
I think we should just get some chicken. Chicken's a good seller for the consumer, and then you can...
I know, but we're going to be tested. I know, and I think your idea is good, but listen, we're going to jump into it again like we did before.
Weighing up the options is all well and good, but it's costing precious time. Ray and Jane finally agree that chickens could be their best bet, as there's already a mass market for them. And although they've no idea what products they're going to make, they head off to buy pure-breed hens anyway.
You really want to stick to sort of a cock and up to 8 or 9 hens. That's the ratio of cock per hen.
Yesterday, Jimmy warned the couples that if a chicken product's going to succeed in a flooded market, it needs to have an original twist.
So you've got the meat, the bones for stock, I suppose, the livers for patties and stuff.
Right.
But we're not doing anything different anybody else is doing our.
Ray and Jane still don't have a plan, but they buy 9 chickens and hope they'll come up with the right product.
I can't think of any other product that you could make from a chicken, rather than stuff it and put it on your mantelpiece.
City execs Mike and Angela think they've hit on something different. Their plan is to breed ducks that can be bought as pets.
Egg-laying ducks to sell to the general public for the sort of back garden market. I think hopefully going to satisfy Jimmy in terms of thinking outside the box, being slightly different, slightly unique. Don't need to do any cooking, don't need to do any butchery, don't need to do any of that, which is fantastic.
When people want ducks to buy, they all have their idea. Some don't like the tall ones. Some like, white ones, some like black ones, some like grey ones. So they're all different colours and types, and I think you need a little bit of everything. Obviously, all the Indian runners are the ones that stand upright.
And they're all different.
They're all purebred birds.
The couple choose 3 different duck breeds and begin working out the best way to present their radical idea.
We need to hire the cages, display cages from him. We're going to want to print a list of the pack. As a beginner pack, it costs you this much for this many ducks. All the kit gear that they need.
Their pet duck starter kit is a brave plan, but only time will tell whether it's enough to impress Jimmy.
Fabulous. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Really appreciate that.
Will and Bryony are now trying to work out what they need to house their 12 ducks.
That's amazing. Perfect.
They're trying to find a simple solution because Brian is concerned about Will's DIY ability.
No, that's good.
This is what we're looking for.
That's kind of this is good.
What I don't really want is Will nailing and drilling, because when he gets busy and focused, he could quite easily put a nail through his head or his hand, or drop a hammer on his head.
I think they'd be happy as Larry in there.
I think they'd be brilliant. I think if we can get this delivered...
And it's also a bit cheaper, isn't it?
Yeah.
And quite safe. Should we go to the pub?
It's 3:30 on day 1 of the challenge. The couples now have less than 24 hours before judging begins. Mike and Angela are first back to the farm and start building a fox-proof pen for their birds.
Mind those fingers.
They're planning a high-spec enclosure and begin by putting up wooden posts to mark out the perimeter of their pen.
How's that? This is the hardest part, he says optimistically.
Perfect.
Sculptor Ian and his partner Sue are also hoping to make top-of-the-range living quarters for their 15 guinea fowl. Like Mike, Ian's also starting with his fence posts.
Look at that edge.
You digging a well?
Digging a well, digging for oil, we've heard.
Ian's hired an auger, a petrol-powered digging tool that should make putting in fence posts a breeze.
It's like rock, this is. A slow job this is, Sue, I tell you.
Pardon?
A slow job. I think we forget that, personally. Waste of time, waste of money, won't do the job.
So, solution. I've got your penknife.
I need my penknife, thank you.
That's it, it's done.
While Mike's bashed in 7 fence posts by hand, Ian's not even managed one.
£5 per item hire.
Joe and Dean's plan means they don't need to bother with fence posts at all. They've tracked down some ready-made coop panels from a local farmer, which they can use to house the 14 rare breed ducks they bought this morning.
That's the one with a door on it.
Oh, wicked.
It's got a door on already.
Oh, wicked.
How great is that?
Measure.
I mean, it needs a little bit of work on. You know, some edges are still quite open. So if I ensure that this is all basically clipped down, should be good enough, really, to keep the fox away. You all right?
I'll break my nails doing this.
All they need to do is screw the panels together, saving them valuable time. Just as well as they still haven't decided what product they're going to make.
There's been a lot of change of plans of products. We've got lots of ideas, so lots of things we can do. And obviously we just really want to do the right thing.
It's 4:30.
I can't knock an 8-foot post, it's as simple as that. You can't knock it in.
Ian and Sue struggle on, desperately trying to dig fence post holes in rock-solid ground, with nothing more than Ian's trusty penknife. Helping Jimmy to judge this week's challenge is agricultural expert Dave Finkel and turkey farmer Paul Kelly.
Hello. Oh, he's on his knees already.
Paul and Dave come to check on progress.
Is it not going through at all? No, it's not cutting. The plan was, you know, going fine, and now I had a big setback.
Dave quickly spots the problem with Ian's auger.
It needs a new blade on it. That blade is sitting flush,
Yeah.
so it hasn't got the steep angle.
It's not biting, is it?
No, it's not. No.
You're going to take it back to where you hide it.
Yeah, they've given you one with a dud blade on the end.
But it may be too late to find a replacement.
I'm after a petrol-powered auger. Have you got one? Today, if at all possible, please. Well, it's got to be today. What time do you close? 5:30.
Ray and Jane have also started on their coop.
Living the dream, Chief. Living the dream.
Get the gate in measurement.
But their biggest worry is what chicken product to make.
Should we do a pie? It's not unique, is it? What can a chicken do?
What can a chicken do?
What can you do with a chicken? Chicken carcass, chicken wine. Can you have chicken wine? Chicken beer? Chicken liqueur?
No, I wouldn't do that.
They've now got less than a day to come up with an idea and produce it. A wrong decision, and their dreams of running their very own farm could be over.
I'm panicking really, to be honest with you. Chicken feathers into plastic products. Oh, panic. Fuel hydrogen cars. Oh, dear me. So we'll really be down there sorting.
Well, I've got my speedos on, so stand by.
I'm just going to knock them in, Sue.
Ian and Sue's auger problems means they've wasted lots of time. Ian's now trying to bash their posts in by hand.
Spot the dog, that.
Mike and Angela are using heavy-duty plastic-coated mesh for their high-spec pen.
Maybe chicken wire would have been easier.
It's tough to work with, and the rain isn't helping.
That's a nightmare to put up.
It's not easy. Would chicken wire have done it, or? Yeah.
It might not look pretty, but it'll last.
Yeah, it'll last longer. This is real farming. This you're out here in the elements doing what's necessary. If your stock's got to be housed, you've got to be out here working, no matter what the weather.
True.
Anyway, I'm going in for a cup of tea now. Have fun.
Yeah, all right, mate. Cheers.
Most couples are struggling, but Dean and Joe are finding ready-made panels a quick and easy solution.
I love it when you work, babe. You look really sexy driving in a screw. That's well sturdy. It's really cold. Right, I'm gonna have to go.
Right, we'll go and do something then, yeah?
I'm gonna go on the computer. I feel like taking my top off.
One couple has chosen not to work in the rain.
We've just dumped our tools down because we know what we're doing. Don't we?
Yeah.
Instead, Will and Bryony researched duck egg pasta in the comfort of their caravan.
I mean, finest homemade pasta. 250 grams for £4.90. I mean, you know, some people are charging outrageous prices for this stuff. Our costs are really low. Actual ingredients-wise would probably cost about 40p.
Not starting work on their coop today is a risky strategy, particularly with Will's poor DIY skills.
Take it on a bit.
It's proving a tough challenge.
We'd like to have had a lot more done, but it didn't happen.
Well, that's it. Head's done.
By the end of day one, only Dean and Joe have finished their coop.
This is the summer's deal of Russell here, where I come from.
Nobody has started to prepare their poultry product. And Ray and Jane and Dean and Joe still don't know what they're going to make. With one couple definitely going home tomorrow, everyone is sailing dangerously close to the wind.
We've got up our duck shelter, just got to put a roof on it really, and a couple of little things inside, so we're quite happy with that. And my plan with regards to our product...
We're still working on that.
Hopefully everything will just fall into place like it does at the 11th hour.
It's the second and final day of the challenge.
I've seen your very impressive hen house this morning.
Oh, let's get in there.
It's good, looking good, man.
Get in there.
You crafty weasel, you.
Well, you know.
The couples now have less than 6 hours before Jimmy judges their fox-proof pens and their money-making poultry products. Attention to detail is essential. The bad weather yesterday meant Will and Bryony didn't want to work on their coop. It was a dangerous strategy, as now they have just a few hours to build it from scratch.
At least it's not raining, eh? It's going to make it a bit easier.
It's not my strongest point, DIY. I was trying to stop squeaky floorboards in my flat about 2 months ago, and I thought I'd stop them squeaking by nailing them down. Popped a nail in the squeakiest floorboard and had this terrible hissing noise. And I put a nail straight through the gas main. Nearly killed an entire city block. The moral of the story is, if you can, get a man to do it. Or a woman, for that matter. Oh! All fine here. Move along now.
Nothing to see.
Nothing to see. Oh, fun and games.
This is on, is it?
After a night of brainstorming, Joe and Dean have finally come up with a product, duck leg confit, a traditional French dish of duck cooked and preserved in its own fat.
So we're hoping people are going to sort of fall in love with the idea of, you know, this rare breed and it all being cooked slowly and, you know, marinated.
Do you want your lucky penny on?
Yeah, gives me a lucky penny. Me lucky penny. Hinny.
Ray and Jane have also come to a decision on a product, a chicken sausage.
Let's see.
But without a sausage machine, they'll have to make everything by hand.
Right.
Because the couples aren't yet trained to slaughter their birds, they're using meat from shops to make their products.
These knives, these serrated ones, are the worst thing. Do you know, you've got a plaster place. That's seasoned up.
When Ray and Jane come to stuff their sausages, the couple hit a problem.
How big is it?
It's gonna go over there. Yeah, I'll just try it. No way.
We only got chipolata sausages, and the skins were only small, it'll not fit over the ends.
Time's not on their side. They'll need to find a smaller funnel quickly if they're to finish their product and complete their pen by 2 o'clock. Mike and Angela's idea, selling ducks, doesn't require any cooking. So they're spending more time on their high-spec pen. And Mike's got big plans for the door.
That was the smallest one?
No, it was the widest one to go on there.
It's got to cover that hole. Suddenly we've got a whole problem now. I thought what we were talking about, right, was putting a nail, a nail, a nail, a nail, right? And then you come along and you go on it. What do we do with that? Yeah, don't treat it like I'm being funny about your massive thing that I wasn't expecting.
It's back to the drawing board for Mike. The clock's ticking, so the pamphlet they wanted for their pet duck starter kit may have to take a back seat.
We just want to print off just a document just explaining as a pamphlet what our idea is. If we can't do that, it's not the end of the world because it's pretty self-explanatory. Anything else is just really presentational garnish. So if we can do it, it'd be nice. If not, we'll have to make do.
Guess where I found?
Watering can.
And it's broken. Well, there's nothing else.
Jane wants to use the watering can spout as a funnel. It's a botched job, but it's all they've got.
Have you seen anything like it in your life?
This is going to be fun.
Oh, please work. I'm scared. Something goes wrong with it now. Go on. Go on. Go on. It's working, it's working. Right.
It's a good advert for
Watering cans.
homemade sausages, isn't it? Watering can, nozzle, and a wooden spoon. Yeah, homemade sausage.
As Ray and Jane's sausages take shape, Angela and Mike hit another problem.
Stake the corner ones first.
They're planning to put up an electric fence to keep foxes away, but they haven't got a power source.
When we bought the unit yesterday, we thought it would just be as one pack. And just something dawned on me this morning that we might need a battery.
Ian, are you putting electric fencing up?
Yeah.
Do you want to split the cost of the battery and let us run off of your battery?
You can, but you can't.
Does it not work?
Won't work. We got 9 volts, you got 12. Sorry.
Ian's battery isn't suitable for Mike's circuit.
You may as well give up now. What's the point in carrying on?
I've just been having a look at Mike and Angela, and to tell you the truth, I'm really worried for them. They've got 2 hours to erect their electric fencing, they've got to source a battery, they've got to build a door, and then they've actually got to produce their products as well. Oh dear.
We'll just have to be quick. Let's go.
With only 2 hours left until the challenge deadline, Mike and Angela down tools and leave the farm in search of a battery.
God, it's a steep hill, isn't it?
Through hard work and determination, Ian and Sue have made up the time they lost yesterday. They've put up a guinea fowl enclosure and added an electric fence. They've also pegged down the mesh to prevent foxes burrowing in.
I must say, a flipping good job in here.
Happy the pen's fox-proof, Sue returns to the caravan to make their product. A takeaway guinea fowl casserole.
And that looks pretty good to me.
It's a bold choice, as it's a specialist meat that's not often found at farmers' markets.
I've never actually worked with guinea fowl, but it's vastly underrated. I think it deserves its place in the food market, and it smells absolutely delicious.
Midday, there are now just 2 hours to go.
Beautiful.
Dean and Joe have finished off their pen with a fox-proof roof. So it's now ready for 14 rare breed ducks.
Got our ducks. I'm really excited, yeah.
And with Sue still hard at work in the caravan, Ian manages the delivery of their 15 guinea fowl.
Hello, ladies. Come on, girls. Come on, girls. It's a damn good job, and I'm proud of me, and I'm proud of them.
How do you get on? Are they in? Are they in? Well done. Well done.
Boy, oh boy, are we up against it for time.
Will and Bryony have hurriedly built a simple wire mesh pen
Here are my little Aylesbury duck.
and are relying on a garden shed to stop foxes getting their ducklings.
Hello, baby. Hello, baby. Right, I'm going to leave you with these as God maiden.
Absolutely.
With less than 90 minutes to go, Will's biggest priority is now the product.
It's going to be super rich.
He's never made pasta using duck egg before. And without an exact recipe to follow, it's a big risk.
I just hope they understand that this is an indication of what you can do with a duck egg and not, "Good, well done, Will and Bryony, you've come up with bloody linguine."
Put it up.
Ray and Jane are fitting a mesh roof to stop the fox jumping into their chicken coop. But sausage making has eaten into the day.
To get that actually secure is going to be a lot harder than they think. Whether they'll get it done in time remains to be seen.
I feel like I'm doing it myself.
Well, you are. Well, you'll have to tell us what to
Pick my hand
do.
up.
Yeah, I'm not a mind
pick my hand
reader.
Half an hour to go. Everyone puts the finishing touches to their products.
Take that over then, let's go. Give our product in.
Mike and Angela now have a battery, but no electric fence.
Keep it quite tight if you can, my love.
It's really nice to see the people stress for a change. I know that sounds really meow.
Ray finishes his pen just in time.
Perfect. There is your Ixworth chicken.
Big one. 2 o'clock on the dot.
Now the rush is on to hand the products in for judging.
You can have that.
It's still a little bit warm.
That's
so.
fine, not a problem.
It'll do. Don't squeeze it too much.
Oh, I'm shaking.
There you go, mate.
Mike and Angela's fence finally goes live.
Hello, darling.
There you are.
But time has run out.
We've got live animals, we had to leave it to the very last second. But,
And their planned pet duck starter kit is now just a duck in a cage. Jimmy returns to inspect the coops. He'll be looking to see if each couple's pen is fox-proof. He'll favour the ones that would be most practical if running a poultry farm for a living. Any construction oversights at this stage of the competition won't go down well.
Mike and Angela.
Hello.
Mike and Angela have gone high spec, with a plastic-coated wire pen and an electric perimeter fence.
Poultry City.
Yeah.
Fox proof, what do you reckon?
That's like cold it's.
Now, it's an egg collecting operation,
Yes.
okay, because you're going to be incubating the eggs.
Yes.
Mike, show me what your operation is. You want to go in and collect eggs. Let's
Absolutely.
see.
Unfasten the door.
We do also want to make a hinged mechanism eventually, where it goes inwards and we've got a proper gate.
Door's nearly off.
There's not enough hours in the day to get that door off, is there?
If you're doing this on a daily process, it causes you a nightmare.
Yeah.
You know, you've got to get these eggs ready. You're going to a farmer's market, you're processing something, you're in and out. You could have 20 of these, couldn't you?
Will and Bryony have made a 4-foot enclosure and bought a garden shed for their ducklings.
Got your fence up here, so this is fox-proof, right? Yeah, I mean, the primary fox-proofing is we've got a fairly robust garden shed. I'd hope once that's shut and they're indoors, no fox is going to get inside it.
You see, foxes are opportunists.
Yeah.
You could have one in that hedge there, lying up during the day, hidden away. Sees a duck move across, has a look around, no one's around, bomb, straight over. So I think this needs to be a bit more secure. So, show me, Bryony, you're going to go and service the ducks, you're going to give them feed and water and collect the eggs. Show me what you do.
Go in there.
No, you're collecting the eggs, not the birds.
I
Fine. Do you see what happened then?
that they all...
You went in, scared the life out of them, had nowhere to go except for through your legs. You've got to service these ducks, you've got to collect their eggs with the minimum of stress to them, but also the minimum of wastage of your time as well. You don't want to waste your time faffing around. Right, Ray and Jane.
Ray and Jane have fixed a wire roof to their coop to keep their 9 pure-breed chickens safe from foxes.
What's the thinking behind it?
The design, keep the hens in, keep the fox out.
Right. So a fox comes in, middle of the night,
Yeah.
pretty hungry, determined.
Yeah.
This will stop them getting in, will it?
Yeah, it's all pegged.
So that, straight away,
Yeah.
that little gap there,
Yeah.
okay, took me 5 seconds,
Yeah.
that, a fox will get in and kill every single bird.
Yeah.
So it's just things to think about, isn't it?
This is what really worries me, though. The
I
fox
know.
is going to jump
Yeah.
onto that and
Yeah.
have a field day.
Yeah.
Joe and Dean screwed together ready-made panels to house their 14 Cayuga ducks.
All right, it's a big old impressive pen, isn't it?
You've done well.
In terms of construction, yeah, it's nice and solid. It's maximum security. It's going to keep the fox out. It's absolutely great.
Well done, you.
Finally, Sue and Ian have 15 guinea fowl in a carefully handcrafted pen.
That's fairly substantial. You've got electric. The wire's nice and tight compared to many of the others.
Good pen.
It's the first decent door I've seen in a little while. Buy it or make it?
We
Made
need
it.
it.
Good.
We'd rather plough our money into those assets than their assets to us.
Yeah. What has really surprised me, looking at these pens here and judging their performance throughout this competition, is Will and Bryony, because for me, they're at the bottom.
By a long way.
They have created the worst pen by a long,
By a long
way.
way.
Yeah. It looks like 2 6-year-olds have built that.
Absolutely.
Ian and Sue, Dean and Joe have done a really good job. I think they're at the other end of the scale and they've really pulled it out of the bag.
Absolutely.
So, but Will and Bryony are right down there, and not far behind them would be Ray and Jane.
I would completely agree.
Man, I mean, look at it.
That lovely fox trampoline on the top. And Mike and Angela.
Just that bloody door.
Yeah, that door alone would just like drive me to distraction every morning. I guess we probably didn't nail that one at all. I think it was a bit of a disaster.
I don't really think he said anything positive, to be honest.
I hope that we've done enough, and I hope we're not in the bottom, and but we'll fight all the way if we are.
The couples must now present their products to Jimmy. He's looking for innovative ideas that make maximum profit. And for some, it's the last chance to convince him they deserve to stay. What the couples don't know is that Dave Finkel is showing the products to a focus group.
What we're looking for is direct feedback from yourselves, brutal, honest comments.
If we look at the sausage itself, personally, it wouldn't really grab my attention.
How much would you pay for this then?
I think about £20.
First looks, it doesn't look particularly appetising.
No.
Feedback from these 15 members of the public could be critical and could sway the judges' opinions.
The wings, there was no meat on them at all. So I've halved my initial thought.
First up are Ian and Sue.
Guinea fowl casserole in a sourdough.
Well, that's very fancy, isn't it?
So it's a ready-to-eat meal, is it?
This is a ready-to-eat, yes.
What would you sell that for?
That size, £3.75.
I think that looks quite pretty, doesn't it?
It's very pretty.
Right, Dave, a focus group, what did they say?
They thought it was too cheap.
Oh.
They all said they would have happily paid anything between £6 and £9 for that. They thought the taste was fantastic, is what they had to say, basically.
OK, guys, thank you very much.
It was a brave poultry choice, and it seems to have paid off. Next are Joe and Dean and their rare breed duck leg confit.
My mother-in-law used to live in Gascony in France.
Right.
And this is obviously a great favourite, and it's very delicious. What would that sell for there, then?
We worked out what it cost us for the duck to produce, to buy, to produce it, to keep it. We priced it at between £16.50 and £19.
Right. I tell you what, that would have to be the best tasting duck in the world.
A long way.
For the cost of that. What did the focus group say about the product?
They seemed pretty frightened at that price, to be
Really?
honest. Yeah, they wouldn't pay anything more than £5 for
Really?
it.
Really?
Yeah.
I think you've priced yourself out the market. OK, thank you.
Although the product's an interesting idea, Joe and Dean's costings don't add up. Next in the hot seat are Ray and Jane.
So what we've got here is a sausage, a chicken sausage, yeah?
Yes.
Yeah.
Who made your sausage?
We did.
We did.
It's cost us about £2 to make that. We were going to charge £3.50 for it.
What's so special about it?
We've gone for a sausage because there's a lot of people who don't eat pork. They can do it on a barbecue, you can do it...
Yeah, I know all the attributes
Yeah.
for sausage.
Yeah.
I know
Oh,
exactly what's good about a sausage. What it was the sort of taste verdict for the focus group?
Focus group. They said initially, you've got a hit of flavour, disappeared.
Right.
Right.
And they were a little bit disappointed with that.
But that wouldn't be the meat we would be using. I mean, it's a representation of...
What we would be wanting to produce.
Okay. Fair point.
OK. Thank you very much. Costing-wise, it wasn't too far off, but
way ahead of where they were last time.
Yeah.
The focus group actually really enjoyed the texture. They
Yeah.
did say the texture was very, very nice.
Yeah.
Just a shame the flavour didn't have the legs.
Yeah, yeah.
Will and Bryony's duck pen has let them down. Their only hope now lies with their duck egg pasta.
We've priced it at £4.20. There's and
how much would I get for £4.20?
You'd get 250 grams, which is 2 fairly generous portions.
Right, what did the focus group say?
Focus group, they said, basically, is it a Valentine's present? They said. They then went on to say, looking at that, they would not pay anything more than £1.50 to £2 for.
It's a real blow for the couple, who desperately needed a positive response.
There is a but. Once we'd actually sent it away for cooking and it came back, they were absolutely amazed how nice it tasted. And then they went on to actually say they would happily pay £5 for it.
I tell you what, I really don't like people criticising my food, and I would have had a hissy fit if
If
they said it was rubbish,
mouldy.
they would have been wearing it. That's the truth.
It's a wonderful product. I can see myself buying it. Tells a great story. It's always him. Bryony's not saying much, and in terms of the partnership, that worries me. Although it's a great product, and it's actually done them proud.
Will's doing all the work.
He's doing all the work.
Last to face the panel are Mike and Angela, with the simplest and most natural product of all.
This is not a magician's act, is it? You're not going to put a cloth over the top and make it disappear?
Our product is to breed our own types of ducks for people to keep in their big gardens, small gardens, backyards, as brightens up a pond, but it also means that people can invest in this, get the return of duck eggs.
Okay, so this is a duck for people that want to live a bit the good life, have a few animals out the back garden. They could come to you and buy these animals.
Absolutely.
What did the focus group say about the duck?
The focus group were, to be honest, very, very negative. One comment that does stick in my mind was a cop-out.
May I ask who the focus group were?
Focus group was a cross-section of people from all different backgrounds, towns, cities, country, and also there were a couple of farmers in there as well.
I think, I don't disagree with it. In our experience, when you look at marketing focus groups, clearly you have to do more than one. In terms of it being a cop-out, to be fair, local farmers that understand how the systems work will have a different opinion. So whilst I'm not arguing with what they're saying per se, I think, to make decisions in this kind of competition based on one focus group would be extremely short-sighted.
At what point have we said we'd be doing that?
Well, I don't know whether you're making decisions or not, but...
So don't make assumptions that we are, then.
Okay. The focus group that you've utilised have their own opinion, they're fully entitled to that.
Okay, fine. Perfect. We've seen enough. Thanks. When they hear something they don't like...
they get upset.
They have a hissy fit. And he doesn't know when to stop talking.
I don't think that went particularly well. It's so hard to tell.
Mike's words may have rubbed Jimmy up the wrong way, but the product idea has made an impact.
I think the thing they've picked up on is the growing trend of people want to keep ducks in the garden, chickens in the garden, and they're dead right. There is a market there.
All the couples have presented their work to Jimmy. Now he must deliver his verdict and decide who's going home.
Right. This has been a hard task. There's one farm to give away, and if I was to decide today, it would be Ian and Sue. I think your pen was outstanding, and I think your product was great. I think you've done very well. Now the competition is heating up, and it's getting really hard to choose between you. So I've had to be very specific for the reasons, okay? The two couples that I want to see back in the caravans are Mike and Angela and Will and Bryony.
We can take constructive criticism, so we're quite grown up.
Yeah, we're going to be grown up about this. If we're not right for it, we're not right for it, but we think we are. So...
This is Jimmy's toughest decision yet. Two couples that have performed well in previous challenges have shown big weaknesses in this one. Mike and Angela produced a high-spec pen, but their product was labelled a cop-out by the focus group.
I'm still somewhat surprised that, as one of the only two couples that put up electric fencing to keep the foxes out, that, we're in this predicament.
Although Will and Bryony have excelled with their poultry product, their poorly thought-out pen has been their downfall.
I think we just got it woefully wrong today.
I think that, but yeah, I think just we totally messed up the pen.
It's an enormous dilemma for Jimmy. He must choose between a business-savvy couple with few physical skills and another whose physical hard work meant they didn't have time to finesse their product.
Your pen isn't the reason you're here, okay? The reason you guys are here is because you didn't add sufficient value to your live duck. I totally get it, but you missed a trick. I'd want a complete idiot's guide, a bumper pack, the whole thing, what to expect from the duck, how many eggs will I lay, you know, duck in a cage, duck in a cage.
I think you know, actually what you're saying now is absolutely what we had in mind. And it sounds like an excuse,
We've
but
made a mistake.
the rain yesterday absolutely sideswiped us.
I think
you know.
the people are getting to grips of what farming's like with weather, and you have to be on top form if it's chucking it down, or top form if it's sunny.
We ran out of time to do a pamphlet and a sort of a beginner's guide too, etc. So.
Right. Well, that's the reason that you're here. Your product, I thought was good. I like your product, but I think your construction was really bad.
I think we got the brief completely wrong. I think we basically...
Because what you built is okay to keep 2 ducks in as a temporary housing, but if you wanted to replicate that...
That'd be hopeless.
It'd be a disaster.
We wouldn't dream of it.
When you went to try and collect the eggs, the ducks were all over the show. There's so many ways you could have done it much better. I think it would be very difficult to do it any worse than you've done it. But this competition is really stiff. You made a mistake on not selling your product well enough. For that reason, you guys will be going home. Your product saved you. And I'd like you guys to stay, because I think you've got real potential. Whatever you do now, I know you'll end up farming, because I think you're determined to do it. You just need the right route to take yourself there. You never know, I might be buying ducks off you.
You never know.
You never know.
I think we've done really well. Well done.
Well done.
And I love you.
How you doing, lad?
Hey.
Hey. All a bit surreal, the whole thing, hey?
Yes.
Can't really ease off you.
Hi, Sue. Good luck.
Hey, I'm going to miss you, lad, I tell you.
Hey, listen, me too.
One more couple has been asked to leave. Just 4 remain, and the dream of winning a farm seems closer than ever. Next time, Jimmy introduces his fledgling farmers to the world of dairy. They need to get hands-on and work out how to cream off the profits.
I'm gonna get as much as I can.
But as the stakes get ever higher,
Peas, 30 pence a slice.
there's simply no room for error.
I know it's going to be awful for whoever goes, but I so don't want it to be us.
It's anyone's guess now who could win it.
Dr. Alice Roberts asks, has modern medicine beaten Darwin? Are we still evolving? Is next here on BBC 2 Northern Ireland.